What's your opinion on New York being ranked one of the worst places to date in the U.S.?
I think it's a bit of an exaggeration.
I think it's accurate.
I feel like it's not a New York problem, but overall big cities because there's a lot of options.
It's like going to the ice cream parlor and picking a favorite flavor. When there's a ton of options, you face the paradox of choice.
You gotta put the shots up, yo.
Unless you're just ugly as shit.
Last question. So in unemployed news, New York was ranked one of the worst places to date in the U.S. The ranking was based on a 2024 study by FetishFinder, believe it or not, and was reported by outlets like Time Out and New York Post that ranked New York among 20 other largest cities in dating. I got my phone here. Other largest cities such as Bilbao, Spain. Hold on, let me make sure this is that how you say it. Bilbao. Bilbao pronunciation. How do you pronounce that?
Bilbao.
Okay, I was right. Other large cities such as Bilbao, Spain, Tokyo, Japan, Marseille, France. That's how you say it, right? Marseille, France, Los Angeles, California, and London, UK, just to name a few. The data was based on factors such as population of single people, likelihood of marriage, which according to Secret NYC, we are the least likely to marry in the US. Divorce rates, people actively seeking relationships, quality of life, and cost of living. According to Time Out magazine, New York is ranked top 5 worst cities to date in the US. I find this topic so fascinating because it's a study that nobody but me really cares about that much, and it doesn't have much valid research or data to go off on. So I wanted to ask people what their thoughts and opinions are about the dating scene in New York, just to see how valid the articles actually were. Also, I've been tremendously single for a long time now, so there might be an actual case here, but that's a different conversation. Although I thought this was a good topic to talk about for the video, the articles themselves don't really go that much in depth with their surveys and reports. So I'll mostly be speaking from personal experience and observation while getting into the other articles related to this study. Despite the research that I've done for this video, please take everything you hear with a grain of salt. These articles do not reflect reality, so you can really only take it so seriously. I actually did find a Reddit thread that discussed the FetishFinder study because, you know, Redditors are always the best place to go to for conversations. And there is a lot of solid arguments that factor into why dating is pretty difficult in New York in general. Factors such as clubbing, which is almost non-existent in New York nowadays, at least last time I checked as a former club goer. Some women just simply aren't interested in socializing with anybody else other than their friends. Dudes are scared to approach women because they don't want to come off as creepy or weird or awkward. Come on, bro, the worst thing she could say is no. Also, most dudes can be straight up weirdos as well, so that doesn't help out at all. People having high standards and checking off multiple boxes on some imaginary checklist. The rise of chronically online dating in recent years. The endless rise of messy situationships. Ghosting, as some of y'all know that I famously talked about on this channel here from my first video, which seems to be the case 90% of the time for most talking stages. Because why tell the person you're not interested in talking to them when you can just never text them back again and hope they get the message? A lot of people being non-committal, especially now more than ever, probably due to past heartbreaks and breakups, leaving individuals emotionally damaged and unavailable, but not sexually or romantically. The COVID pandemic could be a big factor as well, since a lot of us, especially people in my age group, were either stuck inside, socialized online exclusively, and a lack of a lot of social skills as most people transition into adulthood during this time. And it doesn't help that we're one of the most expensive cities to live in the US as well, which plays a role in people, mostly men, wanting to take women out on dates, including myself. And most of us are living on a paycheck to paycheck as well, so you better hope that you have enough money and that she appreciates a coffee date. So with all of that being said, I want to ask people on the streets, what's your opinion on New York being ranked one of the worst places to date in the US?
I mean, it's interesting. I don't really know if I agree with that, but like I'm traveling a lot, so
I think it's accurate. I think everyone's in the perpetual mind state of like, even if someone's good in front of them, they're gonna be like, oh, I can do better. And it's just that constant rat race of everyone thinking they can do better, so that no one's ever settling or like giving each other like actual chances in a relationship.
I disagree. I feel like it's not a New York problem, but overall big cities because there's a lot of options. But on the good hand, there's so many interesting people that you can meet, and it's not always about dating and like love life. You can meet friends for dating.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of an exaggeration. With anything, it is what you make it, if that makes sense, you know? I can see the argument of both sides, but it's just not the way that I would personally want to see it.
it's not bad though. I wouldn't say it's bad. What do you think?
I don't know.
As far as the ranking goes, it's definitely not an unfair ranking. Like I said before, I have been single for a long time now, and I do think it's hard to find a partner or just a long-lasting relationship in general. But then again, I can't speak about it compared to other places outside of New York because I don't live there. I do think the ranking is valid for the most part, despite it not having much info on the data or the surveys itself. What's dating in New York like for you?
If you don't have Hinge and unlimited options, you kind of have to go cold approach people. And that's okay with me, but it's definitely a selective market. We're definitely regressing towards how our parents dated. If you want to meet somebody on an app, you have to understand they have probably a ton of options.
I agree.
For me, it's fun. Wait, have you dated?
Have you dated like ever?
I've had some shitty situations. You just kind of dust yourself off and like get back out there if that's what you want to do. I've kind of been taking a break from dating.
I approach it a different way. I come in with no expectations. I'm not looking for the love of my life. I'm not expecting to meet my soulmate, every time I go out with a guy.
Dating for me in New York is essentially non-existent these days. My options are very limited, but I also think it's because I just don't really try as hard. I'm gonna take off this jacket. I was gonna do this for the video just for the style, but it's getting too hot for this shit. That's much better. I think the climate in New York does play a role into it a lot though. I think a lot of people are coming from past heartbreaks that they don't process, and as a result, it plays a big factor into how our dating market currently is, especially for dudes. A lot of women, at least the ones that I come across, have high standards, and it's not really out of the question that I don't meet those standards for them, regardless of whatever they may be. Do you use dating apps?
Not really, no.
Why not?
I mean, I'm not against them. I see it as a game, like most of my friends do.
It's like a numbers game for people.
No, not to make it
Not for you, but just for most people.
I guess so. I feel like, but that's more of a men's statement, I guess, to just like look at women and just to check who's pretty and who's not. I just don't personally see any difference between meeting someone on like Hinge or Instagram. It's the same online sphere.
Like with social media nowadays too, like you have so much more pull on like just DMs and talking to other people. I mean, like
Yeah, they say like Instagram is like kind of a dating app in a sense.
it technically is. It technically is. I meet a lot of people through IG, I would say. I got a small following, but still, like, it works.
Sir, you both collectively do not have a small following at all.
Unfortunately, it is a bigger chance to meet someone through your phone rather than in person. I feel like a lot of people are shy nowadays and don't really come up to other people.
I've boycotted all dating apps purely because I think there's too much optionality. I feel like if you want to meet somebody, actually, you have to meet them genuinely in person. If you don't have the confidence to approach somebody in person, work on it. It's okay if you're an introvert, that's fine, but find somebody introverted that maybe like you, that wouldn't expect to be approached, but you might because you just took that one leap of courage.
I myself have been using dating apps, but I will talk about that in a separate video. Do you think dating in New York is hard?
Yeah. I definitely think it's harder than most metro cities. I think you have an edge over some other cities like SF.
Have you lived in other cities than New York? Okay, cool, yeah.
SF, it's not equal in terms of male to female. New York City has a ton of talent, great women, great people in general. You have to understand that like you're competing with people and that's just a part of dating. What you have to bring is your authentic self. You can't like actually like pretend to be someone you're not. When you have a ton of optionality, it's like going to the ice cream parlor and picking a favorite flavor. When there's a ton of options, you face the paradox of choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason it could be bad is because there's so much stuff going on, and like obviously if you have a girl that isn't loyal, like I do think she would probably get snatched up real quick. So
I think it's what you want out of it. If you want a committed relationship, then it may be harder than others. I'm not going to do something if I'm not having fun doing it, so it's just something fun to do.
It's difficult for me personally to say whether or not if dating is hard, but there are a lot of challenges and setbacks that factor into that. I think people are mostly focused on getting their shit together, people like me, before prioritizing something like dating or relationships. But then again, a lot of people find themselves into situationships for a multitude of reasons, and a lot of them don't really want to commit like that to begin with. They like the idea of being with someone, but they don't want to fully commit. So yeah, it kind of is hard, I guess. Do you think dating is hard for you or no?
Yes and no. I think the initial aspect of dating comes kind of easily to me. Like I get asked on dates. That's something. But when it comes to more so the commitment aspect of it, that is a little bit of a dance that I think I'm still kind of learning.
Even the process of swiping or going through profiles brings out a part of me that feels judgmental. I want dating to bring out a part of me that is expansive.
It is a little superficial, yeah. It can be. So I think for me, it's easy to find women that I'm attracted to, but it's hard for me to feel like I really want to date them long term or pursue anything more. And the same could probably be said for my case as well. How did you and your partner meet?
We met in a class, but that was online. It was a science fiction philosophy class, but we didn't connect beyond that class until he found me on Instagram a few years later.
We were both summoned for jury duty, and I weirdly like fate. We were both selected as the 12 jurors, and I was on the 12th seat and he was on the 11th. And on that day, we connected and had our first date on that same day.
That's so cute.
Wow, that's cool.
We went on Hinge. We clicked on the first date. A little while after, second, third, fourth.
We met at the restaurant that they work at. I was there with my family. They were my waiter.
What do you feel about the dating scene from an outside perspective now that you're in a relationship?
I think I have a good one of the bunch. Because even reflecting on my past relationships, people are pieces of shit. They don't know how to prioritize people beyond their own needs. There's a lot of selfishness in the dating world.
Before I met this person that I'm with, I was online dating. Not the best situation to be in, but I met great people. However, they just never last.
I've been in New York my whole life. After COVID happened, I feel like the entire city changed and everyone has changed. People don't know how to interact with people anymore. They don't know how to hold conversations. This park is amazing because you can actually how we met is I was just like, you look really cool and you're beautiful and I would love to be your friend. So let's be friends. This is our second time ever meeting. Yeah. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is recently?
Yeah.
Oh,
Last week.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were gonna say you were best friends from childhood or...
I will say though that, I've never lived anywhere else, so I don't know, but I would assume that dating in a small town has to be much harder than a big city. I think it's not as rough as they're making it out to be.
I feel bad for people that haven't found their person. I think it's pretty rough here in New York, especially as a guy, because
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Gender roles, right? You're paying for the date, and a lot of times you're paying around $200 just for someone who is using you for a dinner.
Right, yeah.
You really got to put in a lot of time and effort to find that person that you click with, and if the two people that are on a date, if they're not intentional about what they want, I feel like you're not going to find it. It takes two to tango.
I think I was on the apps for a long time, on and off. I'd go on dates, it'd be fun, but then, I don't know, I feel like we didn't click that much, so I guess, yeah.
And then she settled.
Okay. I want to get a proper grasp of the current dating market for people and see what they care about when it comes to their relationships. I also wanted people to share their stories and personal experiences when it came to dating to see if there was anything consistent. What do you look for in a partner?
If I were to name 3 characteristics, I'm a consultant by nature, so I go by the rule of 3. Loyalty, respect, and compromise.
Someone with a secure attachment style, someone who knows how to love, a man, and someone I can rely on and cry into his shoulder and feel just like a little girl.
If I were to date somebody again, I would want to date a girl that I'm actually friends with, the friendships is really...
That's the best way to go.
Yeah, friendships is what takes you far, I feel like.
Yeah, they usually say that friends first before anything else.
Oh my god, yeah, you last longer for sure. Pause, but yeah.
Are you actively seeking a relationship now?
No, not really. Whatever comes to me, comes to me. If I meet him right now walking down the street, I'm open to it, but...
I'm not actively dating. There's a couple people that I get along with pretty well.
You talk to?
And yeah, I'm...
Make sure he's not lying to you.
What do you mean, bro?
Just saying.
I'm not dating anybody. That's a fact. But there's people that I'm very friendly
that you're cool with, that
yeah,
you're real
exactly.
cool with.
And it might go somewhere, so I'll indulge in that.
How much of a role does money play into the dating scene?
For me, it does, just because I make my own living and I do my own rent in Manhattan, so a man definitely needs to be earning more than me just to feel comfortable with me and just to sustain my lifestyle.
Bro, in today's day and age in 2026, I think so many women rely on most of these guys being millionaires at the end of the day, and I don't think people understand how hard it is to come across that. I think money definitely plays a big role, but obviously if there's a girl that you think you're gonna marry, if she is all indulged into the money conversation all the time, that's probably not the one for you. You just gotta find the one that's there for you,
Yeah.
It's really hard
more
to
emotional compatibility.
Exactly. 2026 is hard to find that, but I believe you're out there. I'm gonna find you soon somewhere.
I don't know. I've always been a person that was leads with their heart, as corny as that sounds. So I've dated guys that had a lot of money and didn't have a lot of money. There have been situations where I've ended things with guys that did have a lot of money because I just knew that we weren't we didn't gel.
Meshing well.
Yes. and then fell deeply in love with people that didn't. So I have conversations with my friends all the time, like, oh, if he doesn't pay on the first date, that kind of thing, and like that, like, you know, and there's just so much rules that I feel like people are making, and it's hard to follow, and it's just like, if he doesn't pay on the first date, that this means he's stingy and this and this and that. I'm of the opinion that if you ask me out on the date, you should pay.
Yeah, I do the same. Yeah.
You know, I just think it's kind of like a courtesy type of thing. New York is expensive, so I don't know if I would expect someone to pay for everything all the time. I went on a date with a guy that I really liked. We got along really well. I always offered to split the bill, but I never want to split the bill. And he agreed to splitting the bill. So I was like, oh, what the fuck, dude? And so it was just like this like internal conflict, because I was like, oh, I can't tell my friends this, because they'd be like, oh my God, don't ever see him again, like that kind of thing. But like, I liked him as a person, you know? Like,
I definitely don't spend less than $100 per date. I typically like to leave with a good experience for myself and the person that I'm with, right? So that means going to an interactive museum, that means going to a nice cocktail, candlelit dinner. There's a lot of elements to it, but you can't cheap out the way you do in college, I guess I would say. You can't really go for a froyo, and I personally want to gain something out of it too. If it's with a girl, great. If it's just me experiencing something new that I've never experienced before, great. I at least got something out of it, even if the date didn't go well.
What do you think the solution is for our current dating climate?
I think there has to be more channels where people feel completely relaxed in themselves and comfortable. I feel like a lot of dating environments end up having a population of people who might not be aligned with the same goals.
We just all need to be more kind and know how to love each other. A little bit of a hippie statement, but that's true.
The biggest solution is just have confidence in yourself. If there's somebody that you like, approach the person. The worst they can say is no. Even if that's not your one, you might find it at some point. So keep on striving, be you. Don't
You gotta
be scared.
make one at some point.
You got, yeah, the shots
At some
gotta
point,
You
yeah.
gotta put the shots up, yo.
Unless you're just ugly as shit.
Last question.
there aren't as many options as you think that there are. If you meet someone that you like and you feel compelled to get to know, like, take that seriously. If you're intrigued about someone, then like follow that.
While I don't necessarily think that there's some step-by-step solution, not even just in New York, but in general, I do think at some point things will come full circle. We've already been seeing dating apps slowing down, more on that on a separate video. Not that no one isn't using them, but it's just not really resonating with people anymore because most of us just don't take it seriously. Don't even get me started on the bot profiles too. I think nowadays real-life social and networking events are becoming a new normal for a lot of people to meet new friends and a potential future partner. I feel like more people want something organic and authentic. I personally think people are DMing each other less and are building up real, genuine connections and interactions with each other. I also think a lot of people are getting into relationships through friends and family, which has been more of the traditional, like, classic way of doing so for ages.
And modern problems require modern solutions.
So what's your advice that you can give for people that are trying to date in New York?
Definitely have some money you want to spend. If you introduce uniqueness, that'll make you stand out. But the whole point of New York City dating is standing out a little bit. If you do the same shit that everyone else will do, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Stick it out.
Yeah, stick it
Like,
out.
It might be a while.
Yeah,
Like,
stick it out, persevere. You have to put in effort too. I feel like if you just sit at home, you just play video games all day, it's not gonna come find you. You're gonna get burned a few times, but it's all part of the process. Makes you more resilient, part of the plot, character development. So I feel like eventually, if you're intentional about what you want, you're gonna find your person. And this is a fun city, I would say, to be in a relationship in. I feel like there's a lot of things I couldn't do single that I can do now, like as a couple with her. So
That's good. I'm happy for you guys, really.
Keep your expectations low. And then you're gonna enjoy your moment. Just, be open to friendships. Don't look for the love of your life in every guy you meet, because most likely they will disappoint you.
What will be, and what will flee. Like, genuinely, don't try to make
It's a bar.
I know. Put that on my grave. Like, I swear by that. Some doors need to close in order for others to open, and 9 times out of 10, those doors that are opening are 100 times better than what you were stuck in.
Leave that man alone.
Leave that man alone. Like, and if you can't find a man, then find yourself. Like,
That's another bar. You gotta put that right under the other one.
I'm putting on a t-shirt.
God pulls people out of your life for a reason, and He puts new people into your life to make you either learn a lesson or evolve yourself. So if you're improving in that sense, you're learning something. Even if it doesn't work out, even if you find a friend, it's good either way.
Absolutely.
Be yourself and put out the proper energy, and I think you'll attract the right people at the end of the day.
Solid.
Wife, if you're watching this video, hit me up. Type shit.
Be vulnerable more often. I think you have nothing to lose. If you feel something, why not say it? You're not going to get canceled for having your heart open. And if you do, then they're not the right person anyway.
They're not a.
If you don't know yourself, you can't expect someone else to know or love you when you don't know or love yourself, you know? When you start to prioritize yourself and the person you want to be, then the people that you align with will sense your energy and they will be attracted to you, not the other way around. If you are just you, people come to you.
Everything is a risk. All relationships, friendships, romantic, everything that you enter is a risk. Like there's a risk that you can get hurt. I think love is always worthwhile at the end of the day.
In conclusion, although the original FetishFinder research didn't have much data to support what they were saying, it was an interesting conversation to have with these people during these interviews. It also honestly doesn't really matter, because despite however we feel about how the dating market is, I still get surrounded by people who are in relationships, talking stages, and situationships. So people are finding success despite whatever these articles are talking about. I think these interviews provide more insight and perspective to what dating is just currently like in our climate. Although I like doing these interviews, although I like doing research on stuff like this, it's not always a reflection of reality. Your dating experience will be far, far different than mine or anyone else's. I try to tell this to myself too sometimes, but just take it one step at a time. Be a little bit more intentional on how you date and who you date. Meet more people, try new things, and I think eventually you'll find whatever it is that you're looking for. I'm not really good with endings and the whole YouTuber voice thing, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Appreciate all the help and support I get on this channel. I definitely said last year that I wanted to do more videos throughout 2025. That definitely did not happen, but I do want to get more videos out this year, even though it took me like a few months to just get this one video out. I was originally going to try to get this video out on Valentine's Day, but yeah, we had like 2 snowstorms back to back, so that was definitely not happening. If nothing else, I hope you enjoyed the conversation today. Until next time, I'm done.